Hello EDU131. Let's talk about Module 4. In this module, you're going to be talking about parents and teachers in the classroom, and your assignment is to read chapters 13, 14, and 15 in your textbooks. If you'll look through this module with me, let's look first at your resources. You'll have the traveling suitcase directions. Now this particular assignment is due April 27th, but it's a big project, so I want you to go ahead and get started on it. You can work in groups if you would like, or you can do this by yourself. A lot of times it's helpful to have another person, maybe a partner, to work with if you know someone in the course that you could kind of work together on. And this is that survey that you gave or that you will be giving to your volunteer family that you're working with. You will ask them in the survey what parent education topic they would like to know more about. And you'll see that list of topics that you could possibly ask them about, but there could be some other ones that you might want to use as well. And then as you go through this assignment, you'll see first thing you have some specifics, the summary. You'll include a summary of some of the things that you're going to be doing. You'll answer some of these questions. You're going to pretend like you're actually presenting this for a parent-teacher or a parent education night at a center. And so if you're going to present this at a center for parents, think about these questions. First of all, will you provide childcare? If yes, how will you do that? And is your plan for providing for children with disabilities? What would that be? And who may you speak? What are you going to do with the children who speak a language other than English? Will you provide snacks for the whole group, for the children, for the parents, a meal? When and where will the event take place? And what equipment and resources, including money, would you need? So the other resources are you going to need a PowerPoint? Are you going to need handouts? What all are you going to need for your particular parent education night? What are all the resources? Since this is an online class, you are going to record your voice over a PowerPoint to present your parent education information. And if you aren't sure how to do that, here's a link to a YouTube informational video to help you do that. So you're going to answer for all families, how does this relate to children who are culturally, linguistically, and or ability diverse in their families, as relevant and appropriate it is for your topic? All members, everyone in the group, if you're doing a group, should be active participants in the presentation. You provide a document that lists each group member and the specific assignments completed by each group member. So one person might want to create the PowerPoint while another person might create the agenda or select an article or put together the community resources or who's going to do the budget. So you can divide up all the different parts of this assignment and just in a document let me know who did what. So number 4 is your agenda. At least one handout should be provided that outlines the key points of your presentation, possibly the agenda for the evening. Your presentation should be at least one small group activity where parents and participants may voice their questions, comments, be included in an activity, explore professional resources. So in your PowerPoint, please show where you're going to actually do that activity and what activity are you going to do with the parents. And this should be clear on the agenda, the handout, also on your PowerPoint. A related article, you'll need to have some copies of a journal or magazine article that address the topic that you've chosen and have it available for your parents or the participants. You upload the article to this assignment area. Community resources, you need to have a minimum of 2 community agencies or resources that address the issue selected, and then you need to have the information that's listed right here, A through F, for those 2 community agencies. You're going to create a budget. You prepare a budget for the project that reflects all costs, advertising, photocopying, childcare, food, resources such as videos, books, pamphlets, handouts, other items that you will use for your presentation. So create a little budget. And then a publicity flyer. So if you want people to come to this event, this parent education night, you need to have a publicity flyer. What would that look like? Create it and have that uploaded as well. So on that flyer, think about including where it's going to be, if there's a cost to it, if you're providing snacks or food, if you have childcare. Make sure all of that information is on the publicity flyer, and of course where it's going to take place and what time. So if you want extra credit, you can actually get permission to present this parent education night. Let's say for an actual childcare center, maybe for CCR&R, or an affiliate meeting of some kind. So think about that if you want extra credit, and you get approval from me in order to do that to actual parents. So then you have here Module 4 lesson, and in Module 4 lesson, you want to look at, it just goes through exactly what you're going to go through and learn this module. So we'll work through this. There's also some lecture notes there and some great resources. Right here are 4 different websites that might help you with some of your assignments when you're putting together your family engagement plan policy. Maybe your surveys, maybe different strategies, things like that. So you might want to look at that. This gives some more information about sexual abuse and trafficking, some clips that you might want to look at. You know, it's really a very tragic thing that is happening in our country as well as outside of our country. So I want you to be updated on that and think about how you might relate to that issue and what you can do about it. As we continue to our course, Module 4, you'll have a PowerPoint for Chapter 13 and 14 there. Look at our assignments. We have a Module 4 discussion, and y'all have been doing great on your discussion forums. I love seeing the interactions you're having with each other. So continue with that on Module 4 discussion. Your Family Engagement Plan Part 5. Let's go through that. You're going to, first of all, you'll read about how important this is, and then Part 5.1 is your policy. So you're going to develop a policy for an early childhood program that addresses family engagement in your early childhood program, and the policy should include the program's philosophy regarding family participation. Some places require family participation, some just, if any parents can, they would like to have them. So what is your policy and your philosophy, as well as what are some strategies that the program employs to promote active involvement of families? What are some different things that you do? Opportunities for involvement should be addressed, including family visits, volunteerism, advisory roles of family members, any other additional ideas you deem relevant to the program. So all the different ways that you can involve families in your program. Research what might be the needs of your community and include these aspects in your family engagement policy. The policy should show sensitivity to the needs of differing cultures, family compositions, time and family constraints and financial constraints of those represented in the community, and cite any sources you use in APA format. So if you get ideas from anywhere, whether it's even the program that you're currently at or where you work or from a website, please cite all those sources in APA format. If you got your ideas on your own, you made up all these things all by yourself, please indicate that in there so I know that you came up with all these ideas. And then a survey. Now you already created the survey in Module 3, and I should have already approved it or not approved it. So this is, if I gave you some suggestions on how to improve it, then you should just approve it and upload it here again. You might want to include, if you've already given it to the family that you're volunteering with, this is that survey you're giving them to find out what their parent education ideas are, as well as how they want to be involved into a program. So if you have them already fill this out, go ahead and upload their completed form too, so we can see what they've done. So include that there. To exceed expectations, there's some directions there. You can read it. Your family engagement strategies, you're going to select one or more strategies for your volunteer family with correlations from the Strengthening Family Strategies checklist. Remember, earlier in the semester, you already wrote like a little reflective mini research paper on the Strengthening Family Strategies checklist. So refer back to that and think about how you can use some of those strategies with the particular family that you are working with right now. So share some ideas for building a reciprocal relationship with this family and identify community strategies to support this family. And you're going to use the Strengthening Families 7 program strategies, and they're listed there for you, in order to select at least one strategy that would benefit this family. And then you need to explain what would this kind of support do for this family, how would it help them, and then cite your sources in APA format. And again, how to exceed expectations, look there at those directions there. And you should see down here below the rubric on how it's going to be graded. Okay. Quickly, we'll move through this. I don't want to spend too much time. I know your time is valuable. So Journal 5 is about advocacy. So thinking about a topic for families that you can advocate for. So you're going to write about that in Journal 5. You have your quiz, your traveling suitcase groups and topics. So remember the traveling suitcase I talked about earlier right here. It's due April 27th. And then in this discussion form here, you're going to let me know if you're going to work in a group and who those group members are, or if you're going to work by yourself. So that's all you're going to do in that discussion form. You don't need to reply to each other in that discussion forum. Your professional behavior checklist goals. Remember at the beginning, we came up with some goals for the semester for your professional behavior. And we all have something to work on. So I just want to do an update. How are you doing with those goals? And then Family Engagement Plan Part 4 is community resources. So again, you're going to identify some community resources that you think would be really good for this family that you're volunteering with. And you're going to include the information there about those community agencies. So that's what that part is. And again, your rubric is at the bottom and you can follow that for grading purposes. Okay, I think that is it for this module. You have some quizzes there for your reading. But again, I hope you have a great module. And I hope you're learning a lot about how to engage families in a classroom and in a program. And I thank you so much for your hard work. Have a great Module 4.